Welcome to my craft room. Different perspective today. I am going to be experimenting to try and not have the big glaring window behind me anymore. So we'll see if this angle works a little better. But anyway, if you're new here, I'm Sherry. This is my channel primarily about cross stitch and other crafty things I get up to. Lots of kitten chaos because kittens are adorable. If you're new here, welcome. We're glad to see you. Always happy to have more visitors to my craft room. If you are a returning visitor, hi. Happy to have you too. I want to start out by saying thank you to everyone who has subscribed, liked, commented, all of that good stuff. Love to read your comments. Loved getting to know you. So yeah, definitely happy about all of that. Okay, so we will start with life. I have a cat hair in my eyeball. Life has been okay. We have finished remodeling the bedroom, the master bedroom. My daughter's room is already finished. This craft room, we're gonna have to do some work on the ceiling because the roof leaked. Yay, so we'll have to replace that too. Awesome. But our bedroom is done. We are now turning our attention to the master bathroom, which has got to be the ugliest bathroom in the history of bathrooms. No lie. And honestly, I think whoever remodeled it last must have been a drunken one-armed chimpanzee with a learning disability, blindness, and a cocaine problem. That's all I got. The sink does not fit the vanity. The bathtub is hideous, and it's all chipped. But in any case, we met with a contractor last night, got an estimate, put down a down payment, and we are getting all of that fixed. The contractor is going to replace the vanity and sink, and then the bathtub shower combo. We can do the rest ourselves. But anyway, so house remodeling is going on. Yay. Currently, I don't really have any visitors in here with me right now. Kittens, sleepy kittens all over the house. Artemis is unconscious in front of the window, her usual spot. But anyway, that's all that's going on as far as life goes right now. Things just keep moving forward. So, on to cross stitch. Cross stitch, I do have progress. I do have a finish, a small finish, but every finish is a good finish. I think we're going, and I have a little bit of haul, but not a whole lot. I haven't been shopping a whole lot. Just a few patterns, and my fabric of the month club from Witch's Garden Crafts. But we're going to start with the finish. And the first finish was my Halloween ornament from January. Well, first finish, I say only finish. This is a pattern that I got from the Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition for 2023. So it's the newest one. And it is the unwelcome sign. and I thought it was really cute. Abandon all hope. So I stitched this one on 14 count Aida. It is in tangerine. I dyed it myself. I have some tropical orange, but it just didn't, it wasn't bright enough for my taste. I wanted something bright orange, so I dyed this one myself. I used DMC floss, and of course it's 310 for the black, it's 317 for the gray, and then the white is actually the E940, the glow in the dark one. So I thought that would be cute for Halloween. And I will likely mount this on just a board and then decorate around it and put a hanger on it. That's probably how I'm gonna do it. And I may be doing fully finishing some of the ornaments I've been stitching because I'm starting to get a collection. And I'm limited in my activities, but I'll get to that. Anyway, so that is my finish for this month, or for January. It is the Unwelcome sign, and it was from Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition 2023. So very happy with that one. I also I worked on my stamped kit. We all know how much I love that kit. Yay! But anyway, it wasn't too bad, as long as I've kind of figured it out now. With the arthritis in my hands, this canvas is so stiff that it just hurts. It hurts. I can't stitch on it for long periods. But I have figured out that if I stitch on it for about an hour and then put it away, that's okay. I can handle up to like an hour of it. It is I believe it's an 11 count. And it is just a photograph of lilacs. It is a no-name Chinese kit, as far as I can tell. My mother found it somewhere for 99 cents and just tucked it in with my Christmas presents one year, 2 years ago. And I've got it, so I'll stitch it. I have no idea where it came from. No, there's no company name, no anything. So it's just literally a no-name company that I have no clue where it came from or who it was or anything else. But my mother gave it to me, I'll stitch it. But what I have managed to do, previously I had done all of this gray stitching and I had done all of this light pink, and I am color completing it. I have since filled in these dark colors, and as you can see, I'm currently working on the purple, on some of the purple for the lilacs. That's as far as I got in my hour of stitching it. But, you know, any progress is progress, right? I will be working more on that because I do want to get it done. I want to get it done. I want to get it finished. I want to get it off of my list so that I can start some new stuff. But there's my stamped kit. The next one I did some work on in January was my Treasure Island stitch along from Owl Forest. And I say stitch along not because I stitched along with them, because obviously I didn't, or I'd be done. But stitch along because that is what it was. And when you last saw it, it looked like that. I had done the top, just those 3 sections on the top. I have sat down in January and I've started doing the guys, the characters of the story. Now, I realize I'm doing Treasure Island because we all love that book. It's an amazing book. It's very entertaining. But I've mentioned before, I don't like to stitch people. Now, saying that, I don't like to stitch little cartoon type people. Now, if you give me a realistic, beautiful, like mermaid or whatever, yes, I'll stitch it and it's fine. I don't necessarily enjoy stitching the people part, but I will stitch it. But these little cartoon character like people on this project are not what I like to stitch. And that being said, I will stitch them because it's part of it, and you can't have a story without characters. But I sat down to stitch this, and first I'm going to start off by saying I'm on medication. I somehow, don't know how, not a clue, I have injured my elbow. And according to the doctor, I went to the doctor Monday or Tuesday. I don't know what I did. According to him, gardeners get weird injuries. Okay. We have weird aches and pains. Good to know. But there's a knot of inflammation all in my elbow, and it is irritating the ulnar nerve that runs up the outside of your arm all the way to your pinky and to your shoulder. And so I have a lot of pain. And so he's put me on medication, anti-inflammatories for that. And he has limited my movement of that arm, which I need speech therapy. I'm ambidextrous, so that's not going to slow me down from doing things, but he has limited my activities because he doesn't want me straining it. He wants the inflammation to go down. So I'm on medication. Yay. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But when I stitched this guy, I don't know what I did. I ripped him out 4 times. No, 3 times. I stitched him 4 times and just kept stitching and ripping him out because I just could not get. Apparently, I can't count. And finally, after the 4th time, and he is still. You know what? We just going with he's standing in a wind. Okay, the wind is just blowing his coat. That's what's going on here, because he is cattywampus as I don't know what, but I couldn't get it right. The flowers are right. The frame is right. It's just him. So I think it's a combination of drugs and the fact that I don't like stitching people. That's the only thing I can come up with. But he is stitched. And my husband says he looks just fine. So I'm leaving it. I'm not ripping him out anymore. Now this is being stitched on a 16 count Aida that I have tea-dyed myself. I just wanted an aged look to it, so I just tea-dyed it. But that is my progress on Treasure Island. Hopefully the next guy I stitch will not be such a hassle. It should not have taken me 2 days to stitch that guy, but it did. It is very sad. So, the third one I have been working on is my lettuce. This one is, and let's not show off the chart because that would be bad and I would get hate mail. This one is the Seed Pack Towels, and it is from Just Cross Stitch of June 2021. It is a pattern designed by Elizabeth Spurlock of Saving Grace's Fine Needle Arts. And I'm currently working on the lettuce. Now I'm going to do both of these, but I'm currently working on the lettuce. And once I'm finished with that, I'll start the tomato. I am not stitching these on towels. I am just stitching them on 14 count Aida because I want to frame them as prints and hang them in my kitchen. Now the last time you saw it, I had completely finished the actual lettuce. And all I had left was the border and the wording. Well, here's a board. I have begun the border. So this is what I've got so far. I don't think this border will take long. I fully expect to finish this by the end of this month. And that is a goal for me for February. The border is just a single row of stitching, and it's got the little curly cues in all four corners, and then it says crisp lettuce, and it's just plain and simple, no back stitch, no anything. So I fully expect to finish this soon, and hopefully start the tomato before the end of the month. But that is my progress on the seed pack towels. Now this is being stitched on just a 14 count Aida, and it is a pale yellow, a very pale yellow. I didn't want a white background because it would look odd in my kitchen. Which, now that I've made that decision and I've almost finished this, my husband is talking about changing and remodeling the kitchen as well. So, I don't know. But at least, you know what? It'll have its twin with the tomato, so they'll match each other, right? But anyway, that is the progress I have made on the seed pack towels. It's actually been a really quick, easy stitch. It's not big blocks of color, but it's not confetti either. So it's going quick. Now, as you saw last time, I have my little checklist. As you can see, for the month of January, I completed everything. I did it. So we're now beginning February. Let's see what I can do with that. Now, I mentioned I had gotten a little bit of haul, not a whole lot, just a little. I did get my Fabric of the Month Club from Witch's Garden Crafts, and what I get is an 1/8 of a yard, a 14 count Aida. That was the only size she had available when I signed up for it. The others were all full, which, to be fair, I don't stitch on linen anyway. Now, I don't know what the name of this color is supposed to be. Maybe type O, or I don't know. But it's a pretty red. It's actually a deeper red than this. The lighting from the window coming this way is making it look more orange, but it's actually a deeper red. There we go. That's a good representation. It is a deep mottled red. And that was the January Fabric of the Month Club. Now, she sends these out at the end of the month, so I won't get February's until the beginning of March, which is fine. This color, normally when I get them, I immediately choose a pattern to stitch them on. But I'm not sure what I'm going to stitch on this. I honestly don't know. Now, I've gone through my patterns and I don't really have any that are suitable. I do have one from Witch's Garden Crafts, funnily enough, that is basically F around and find out that I wanted to do for my husband. And I may stitch it on this. Because I honestly don't have any other pattern that this would work with. As of now, we'll put it that way. So this might be used for that one. Now, every month she sends just a little square. It's a sample. It's not labeled. I don't know what color it is, or what colorway, what the name of it is. But every month she sends one. And this month, this is what I got. And it is beautiful. It is a beautiful mottled deep blue, which honestly, I think this would go fine with either a Halloween or a Christmas ornament, either one. Because I can see a Halloween thing stitched on this, but I can also see, you know, snowmen or whatever. So I will use this for an ornament. I always, whenever I get packages from her, and she always sends a little square, just a sample, I throw it in my box for ornaments. They come in handy. So that was my free sample. I also got, well, my husband brought home this for me. He had gone to Barnes & Noble, I believe, to look for a book. And he brought home The World of Cross Stitching for me. This one is, yes, this one is issue number 41, January of, oh no, 341, January 2024. And he specifically brought it home because he liked this pattern, the beach grass, and he liked the unicorn, which I like both of them too. And both of those have already gone into the little stitchy cup. So he brought him this, and this was like the free gift that was in the package with it. And it's just greetings, little greeting card things that you can stitch. And it's got some cute ones. I don't really send greeting cards, but it's got some cute little things that I can incorporate into other projects. Like specifically these little stitchy ones, I can see doing a block of 4 and then hanging it in my sewing room, my craft room. So that's cute, but he brought home that for me. And the only other haul I got for cross stitch, I got some patterns. I was on Etsy, as you do, just looking around, and I found some patterns that I just decided I had to have. Now, these patterns, we love to watch some of the anime movies, like the Studio Ghibli. I love Totoro. I love Totoro. But one of our favorites is Spirited Away. So I got this pattern, and it is a full coverage, and it is by Witchy Stitch on Etsy. So I got that one. The next one I got was, and it is also by Witchy Stitch. The next one I got was Kiki's Delivery Service, another of our favorites. The next one I got, as I said, I love Totoro, and I love the Lorraine scene. So I got this one also from Witchy Stitch. And I think he's adorable. And then the last one I got was in preparation for Christmas this year. So I will likely start it fairly soon. If I can find the cover photo, that would just be awesome. There it is. This one I got was for my daughter, but I also like it. And it is the Animal Crossing Polly Pocket. And it is by Glitch Stitch AU. So that will probably be her Christmas cross stitch this year. So I'll like, and it's a good size pattern. It's 250 by 275 stitches. So it's good size. So I will probably start it soon. But I thought it was adorable. It's got the little tent, the beach with Gulliver, and it's got the present with the balloon flying over, the museum. It's got all this stuff, and I think it's adorable, and I think she'll love it. Because every day while she eats lunch, she plays Animal Crossing. So that's the cross stitch haul I got. I'd mentioned before, last time, that I was planning to start doing some shout outs for the Flosstubes that I like to watch. The one I want to shout out today is new. She's only done 2 videos. And her Flosstube name is Rocks, Moss, and Floss. She is cute as can be. And she stitches a large variety of projects, and she does beautiful stitching. In fact, she's enabled me. She's mentioned some stuff that she's gotten that I've written down to go look. But she stitches a variety of different projects. She's cute as can be. She's only done 2 Flosstubes. But I've enjoyed both of them, and I've already subscribed. So, you know, if you want someone and she loves plants, so obviously she and I have a lot in common. So go check her out. I think you'll enjoy her. I think that's it with cross stitch. Now, my plans for this month are obviously to do my check sheet. As I said, specifically, I want to focus on getting that lettuce one done so that I can start the tomato. And just carry on. Do what I can. So far, this injury, however I got it, has not slowed down my stitching. But it has impacted my sewing. And so, perfect segue into sewing. I have sewed nothing. I can't. Now I am wearing a t-shirt that I made for myself. Happy little bats and skulls and skeletons. But with this injury, mobility of this elbow is limited. And I have been told that I can't do that. It hurts. I have been told anything that hurts, stop it. That's my doctor for you. He said, if it hurts, that means your body's telling you to sit down and stop with the nonsense. So at this point, I'm limited in my mobility with this arm. So, you know, guiding fabric and all, I can't. He said no really repetitive actions. Now, since I don't use my elbow when I'm stitching, I only use my wrist. I can stitch, so there will be more cross stitch time this month. So I can't sew right now. That being said, I had mentioned last time that I was waiting for a package that the United States Postal Service, in all of its glory, lost. The package was lost. I filled out a missing mail request. and they never even acknowledged it. Finally, I filled out a claim for it and contacted the company. The company was byannie.com, and they were wonderful. They just immediately sent out a new package. I received the new package and the lost package on the same day. Now, the lost package was delivered to me, but when you pulled up tracking, it said it was still in transit. Our postal service is amazing in its ineptitude. But anyway, I did finally get my package. So I had mentioned that in the package, I had ordered some Soft and Stable because I wanted to make the little petit four baskets for my daughter to put her things in. You know, little hair clips and things. So I did finally get that. I got my Soft and Stable, so I can make the little baskets now. I'm excited. And as we all know, if you order something, you can't just order one thing. Things cannot travel alone. So I got a couple new patterns. One of them is the Take a stand-up tote bag, which I thought was cute. And it will be good for when we're traveling. I can, you know, maybe put some, like it shows scissors and things like that in it for me to work on, you know, whatever I want to work on while we're traveling. The next pattern I got was the Running with Scissors tool case. And I think I got it more for the name than anything else. But I do like it. It like it shows, you can put your scissors and all kinds of little sewing things in it. It's got, you know, it stands up. So I thought that would be a nice one to make as well. So I did get that package. Now, that being said, I contacted byannie.com and I informed them I got the missing package the same day I got the new package you sent out. And they said, well, if you haven't opened one of them, just put return to sender and send it back to us. If you've already opened it, share it, whatever. But I hadn't opened it yet. I knew what it was, so I just sent it back. So I am honest. The next thing I got, because of course I got all of this just to find out that I can't sew for a while. That's how it works. But the next thing I got, now I had mentioned my husband had gotten me this Quilt As You Go package for Christmas. I already made the smaller one. That was the black and white one that I made. I finally got the fabric to make the larger one. Now the inside lining is going to be little paw prints. Because of course it is. And I got a fat quarter bundle to do the back of it. And it is, let's see. And the fabrics are, you know, little flowers and ladybugs. Some more little ladybugs. Cats and butterflies. Some more little cats and butterflies. And then cats and ladybugs. So those are the fabrics I got to make the larger bag. So I'll be doing that. And that's, I did get some, it's the Zonon, the crinkle stuff that they use to make the cat toys, the little crinkle toys. And I got a package of this because I want to use some of my scraps, you know, like flannel scraps and things that I'm not going to quilt with, to make some cat toys for the kittens. So that's all I've gotten for sewing. Like I said, I'm not allowed to sew right now until my arm heals. Which is a bummer. And I don't even know how I did it. I don't know how I did it. I have no clue. But I somehow did it. And, he even asked me, did you bump into anything? And I said, no. For once, I didn't. I didn't fall up the stairs or down the stairs or up the stairs. I didn't bump into anything. And his only theory is I probably overextended it, doing repetitive motions like cleaning or gardening or whatever, because my elbows, I am very loosely jointed and they do overextend by nature. Yeah, don't do that. And he said that while yes, that makes me extremely flexible, which was handy back when I did gymnastics, it also makes me very prone to injuries like this. So that's what he figures I did. It was just a lot of repetitive movements of me overextending this elbow one too many times. And it just said, no, stop your nonsense. So I just have to wait until it heals. So no sewing, but I do have plans. Now tonight, I'm just going to sit down and stitch. But I do have plans to sit down, pull my fabric, and start matching it to patterns for the three of us for spring sewing. So I have plans to do that. That's as far as I can get. It is what it is. Old age, it sucks. So that's it with sewing. On with gardening. The garden is there. Now, we have sat down and we've made plans. And we have decided we're going to switch the chicken coop, or the chicken area, and the garden area. The chicken area, where the chicken run and coops are now, is just a cesspool of mud. They have picked it clean of every seed, vegetation, weed, everything. And I don't like having them in those conditions. So, well, not only that, but our water table is so high. If it rains, we flood. The house doesn't flood, but the land is underwater. It is under standing water. Where we put the garden, because we've been doing raised beds for 10 years there, it is built up higher now. And so our theory is if we move the chickens to that area, because the wooden raised beds have rotted through already now anyway. So we're going to have to rebuild them. And if we're going to have to rebuild them, we can move them wherever. So we're going to put the chickens there because the ground is a little higher, so hopefully it won't get as muddy. And so we will build a shed to use as a chicken coop, and we will enclose it all in chicken wire, and that will be their new area. And it is much larger. It's twice the size that they have now, so we will no longer have to free range them. We can leave them in their area. And then, of course, every time my husband cuts the lawn, we'll just rake up a bunch of the clippings and throw them in there, and they can scratch through that. And then the garden, we're going to start building up raised beds where the chickens are now. All of that mud and stuff is full of 10 years of chicken poop, so that's fertilizer. So we're going to start building that up and building our raised beds, and we're going to cover them with tunnels. That way we can still garden in the winter because we won't have to worry about frost, but we can also put shade cloth over them in the summer when our sun is so intense. So we're going to do that. But for now, we haven't planted anything. Well, I'm not allowed to work in the garden right now. Yay. But we have started getting seeds for what we want to grow this year. And we plan to sit down probably this weekend and make a list of exactly what we want to grow. And then we'll go through the seeds we have left from last year. And then whatever ones we need to replenish, we'll order. So that's really all that's going on in the garden. My garage right now is a veritable jungle. Speaking of which, I had mentioned last time we had a little friend that my husband is determined to adopt. Okay, he showed up here when it froze. Now, after the weather got nice, after the freeze and the rain, he disappeared for about 5 days. And we thought he just came to visit and now he's moved on. We didn't think anything of it. I mean, my husband was heartbroken. He really wants to adopt this baby. Well, he came back. He came back and he has moved himself into the garage. He's on safari somewhere in those plants. Now, he's gotten used to us now. Now, he's still, kind of wild. Still a little feral. But he's gotten used to us. And so he will come to the door and meow, telling us he wants petting. He wants attention. And so, whichever one of us will go outside and we'll love on him and pet on him, and he'll purr and he'll rub and he'll flop and roll around. And then it's almost like he's, okay, wait, this is too good to be true. And he'll swat at us. Now, he doesn't bite anymore, but he'll kind of swat at us saying, I've had enough. But then he immediately feels bad and he's back to loving and rubbing. So he's getting there. He's getting there. And we've moved his little box with his towels into the garage. He prefers to sleep in the garage now. And moved his food and water into the garage. So he is back. And we're getting him there. We're getting him there. Now, the poor baby's filthy and he's full of fleas. And of course, before we can bring him in the house, he has to be vetted to make sure he doesn't have any parasites that he'll pass to our babies. But we're working on it. We just have to get him to trust us enough. But he's cute as can be. He's adorable. And he's getting there. So that's the update on our little friend. Now, my husband can't decide what he wants to name him. He has a big old head, so my husband wanted to name him Melonhead, and I told him no, he's not naming him Melonhead. And then he wanted to name him Poncho, and I'm not sure why or where he came up with Poncho, but I was like, okay, whatever. And then he toyed with the idea of Cheeto because he's orange. He hasn't made up his mind. All I know is I have put my foot down, and you are not naming that baby Melonhead. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. So it's ongoing. We're working on it, but he is growing to trust us. And a couple times he's thought about coming into the house, but of course Artemis is in there and that makes him stop and say, okay, maybe not. But we're working on it. We're getting him there. But anyway, that's all that's going on here. Not a whole lot. I have completed my checklist of projects for January, and now I'm starting on February, and I am starting with the lettuce tonight. That's what we're gonna do. Other than that, everything's moving right along. I'm gonna continue to rest this arm, so there will be plenty of stitching time. And hopefully I'll have a new start by next time. But until then, thank you for visiting in my craft room and listening to me ramble. Let me know if this angle is better so that you don't have the bright glaring window behind me. And we may just stick with this and the lovely view of the litter scoop on the wall, because right underneath it is the litter box, which is a joy to have in my craft room. But since we have 3 cats in the house, we have 2 litter boxes. One is in our bedroom and one is in the craft room. Because when we leave the house, we lock the cats in our bedroom because their food and water's in there, their towers in there, and their litter boxes in there. So, but anyway, that's all I've got today. thank you for visiting my craft room. If you were new, I hope you saw something you liked in all my rambling, and I hope you like, subscribe, comment, hit the little bell thingy, whatever. And if you're a returning visitor, I'm so glad you came to visit. But I will see you in 2 weeks, and I hope you'll have a wonderful weekend since it is Thursday, and I'll see you later.